Thank you for being here. Lisita asked me to summarize a bit about Thursday's meeting for people who weren't there. And this is a repeat for Thursday's meeting. Same presentation, different words are going to come. Different energy is already here. So it's really fun and I'm excited to see what it's about. So Thursday was my very first introduction to this ecosystem that I have built. And this ecosystem was built as a response to attending and being involved with the global human design community for the past 8 years. And it was what this ecosystem that I have built is built on a structure that I have built for my own self. This structure that I saw the universe be built in when I was a little girl, but then I only got language for when I learned the hexagram structure. This is the same process I used to govern my children, I called it. Was this, okay, well, what do you think about it? Can you live with it? Well, what happens when you don't like it anymore? Well, can you tell your people you love? Can you be honest about what you're doing? And that was a measure of how I raised my children, is almost through the hexagram structure. And so this hexagram structure that we all use in our everyday practice, in our contemplations, in our energetic capacity to be with the rest of the world, this hexagram structure has been with me since I was a little child and has been parenting me. And so this hexagram structure is what I've built an ecosystem on. Now, why build this ecosystem? The reason I've built this ecosystem is because being part of human design, high desert human design for the past 5 years, I have watched us come together in ways that are attempting to be individuated. Right? We are all trying to be ourselves together, but nobody knows how to do that yet. We haven't learned really how to be individuated and together at the same time. And so we have been trying our best. This ecosystem is my gift, my offering, my life's work to hold our community in finding themselves belonged in the world as themselves, their individuated self. Ra talked about in one of his generator lectures, and maybe I'll bring it up again, but he talked in one of his generator lectures about it wasn't his business to go about deconditioning people. That was not his job. His job was to get the information out and to have a foundation built of this beautiful heresy that the voice has given him. He said in a generator audio when he was talking about it, somebody else is going to come along. Somebody else is going to decondition us all. And it feels like I kind of took that baton. I kind of took that flag and I said, yeah, that feels good to me. My design itself, I haven't showed it to you yet. And it's actually not part of this presentation, but maybe I'll send it in the email. My design is one that Chiron is conjunct the sun in my 11th house, 10th or 11th, depending on what house system you use. So either I am here to help us be ourselves through our wounding, or I am here to help us be ourselves through our wounding in belonging. Either way, this is a cool little thing I've built for us to do either one of those things. And the center of this ecosystem is high desert human design, because being in lived experience with one another is how we practice. And so this will become practice space for what we commune with through an app and through a WisdomKeeper program. I've built an ecosystem that supports the cyclical nature of human evolution by connecting the people who've been there with the people who are now arriving. We know in this new ecosystem that we are moving into political, financial, spiritual, emotional, relational ecosystems that we are moving into. It is not about the guru anymore. It is not about the person who sat on the park bench. Those people were very valuable. That is not what we're doing moving forward. Awakening is being you in relation to the world as you regulated. My practice, my life's work, my psychology practice, my real estate brokerage, my everything that I have ever built is about saying, hey guys, I've just been there before. Let me show you the square that I've stepped on. Not that I'm better, not that I've done anything that you haven't done, not that I know anything that you don't know. I'm just going to be your ally and walk with you into these places that I just walked there before. Here's what I know. What do you know? And now we know more about that place together. We're walking into our evolution with allies. High Desert Human Design is where we come to practice. The Wisdom Keeper pathway is where you and me will come together to develop our wisdom in the spiral of the hexagram. Now, everything in nature that is sustainable creates compost, right? That compost that it creates is valuable to something else, another creature, another entity, another frequency in the field in which it lives. Everything that is sustained in the universe creates compost. That compost is reciprocal to something else. We have compost. I have compost. This, what you're seeing me present today, is just my compost that I have created as a way to keep me alive and resourced as my 6-line self. Not selling myself out down the river, not trying to compete with the algorithm to make sure that I get the most views so that I could get people on my page. And then I put myself into an 8-second soundbite so that I could get with the algorithm. Nope. I have never been able to create that way. I've never found success that way. I have found success in the authentic expression of my compost, giving it to you. So the Wisdom Keeper pathway is a pathway in which you will come and we will walk together and we will say, what is your genius? Rebecca was sharing with us that she is on the edge of learning because she is in her Uranus opposition. So she is on the edge of learning about cycles. And when we are on the edge of learning anything, this is always when it's most potent. If you would have met me when I met human design and I thought that I was the best human design teacher in the whole world 2 years in, I'd have blown your mind with these human design 101 talks I gave, substantiating the information, showing the synthesis, bringing the science into the wisdom. I'm not that fucking excited about it anymore. I love human design, but I'm not going to give an initiation like that anymore. So this spiral that I've built holds that initiation that I gave with all the passion that I gave it within in that now moment in my spiral, so you can access me there at that moment. Something that I experience with this Wisdom Keeper pathway is that everyone that comes to me has compost, like I said. And when we can put it in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, now these people that come to experience wisdom, they can consume it or meet you there in a way that they are seeking what you've already lived. No performance, no marketing structures, none of these things, just the people that have already been there with the people that are coming. And that is a digital experience. I've built an app and I've built the back end for all of you practitioners to come in and build with a podcast and a newsletter and courses and downloads and all of the things in which these people can access. But High Desert Human Design, this is where we come to practice it. This is where we come to be humans together in the practice of what we've taught. Facilitators and students. What I learned over these past 5 years of High Desert Human Design being one of the largest comings together on the globe of human design people is that a natural hierarchy kind of formed. And I want you guys to know that I am really doing away with that. And I'm coming into a hierarchy with this creation. At High Desert Human Design, the people who teach, the facilitators, the wisdom keepers, are people who are on the edge of their own evolution. Right, Rebecca? You're coming with your cycles. You're not bringing into High Desert Human Design this most perfect, polished 8-minute algorithmic snippet that you're going to now make yourself better by giving and selling this thing to people. This experience of commerce that we have in the world right now is what I'm changing in this ecosystem. And High Desert Human Design is where we'll come together to do it live and to practice and to be people with one another. Oh, this is a slide I should have had up when I did all of it. Apologies, guys. So I'm just going to take a minute and have you look at this. And this is basically what I've just said. These 3 spirals all are very independent of one another. You do not have to participate in the entire ecosystem. You can participate in one part of it and no other part. You could participate in the Wisdom Keeper pathway and High Desert Human Design and stay out of the app if you want to. None of these are married to one another. They all are just a spiral assisting one another. This space is not just for seekers seeking your wisdom. It is for you to bring your wisdom in integration, in live experience with other humans. What we're doing here, the underneath of this, right? The people that come to High Desert Human Design aren't going to get all of this depth. But what I want you to know that I've created is a place in which you're authentic on the edge of your growth space, and they're authentic on the edge of their growth space is now creating a symbiosis of frequency that is not normally created in a teacher-student type of relationship because of the vulnerability. This is allowing you an opportunity to practice being on the edge of your service self in front of people who are hungry for it. Not people who are following gurus and things. I think most of you have heard my spiral of everything talk. Is that right? Yes, yes. If you have not, there is a QR code on the screen right now, and you can just use your camera to capture it, and it'll come right up on your phone, and you can watch it after this. It's an hour and 40 minutes or so, and it's my audio and my slides. You don't even see my face, so you can play it in the background somewhere. But when you listen to this, this is going to help you understand these spectrums of consciousness that the people that are coming are moving through, right? You understand a first line. You understand from insecurity to security. Well, what are the psychological, spiritual, mental, emotional markers that are moved from when you move from insecure to secure? What we are going to do is build offerings that help to nurture each of those moments of moving from insecurity to security. In whatever topic is going on, we are going to, this spiral that I've created has human design as a common language of the core, but the modalities are wide and vast. What comes together to support our individuated evolution? What modalities can happen? Something else that's happening underneath that I want you to know about is that when we come together in this way, this is the way the universe builds a toroidal field. A toroidal field is a magnetic field that is a living body of frequency around any living thing that pulses like a magnet. Very simplified version of it. But that magnet, when it pulses, brings everything that is for it and to it, like a North Pole and a South Pole magnet when they come together. This spiral that I've created creates a toroidal field of consciousness or for consciousness. Bear with me, this is real nerdy stuff. What this means is that when whoever decides to do this with me, builds the first level of this spiral, builds the foundation, and then we move into, okay, what does it mean to actually do this ecosystem? So now we move with it in our second line way, and then we experiment and we make it a little different. And then we really come out to the world, whoever's left of us, right? At this place when we're in our fourth line experience of building this together, we bring people together, and then we become a heretic of ourselves, and then we become council members. And then the next people who come in the first line, the next wisdom keepers, hold the next evolution of consciousness. So they come through the spiral, build their wisdom. Then the next spiral comes, they come through, build their wisdom. This might not matter to you guys. Why this matters to me is that this becomes a vehicle for consciousness to evolve through. This vehicle can outlive all of us. And the reason I've created it this way and I'm sharing it this way is because this is the way, when you look outside, anything that has been built that has sustained the test of time being 4 seasons, more than once, anything that has stood the test of time moves through these 6 steps and has new energy infusing it. So that's what I'm hoping to build here. That's the real esoteric and kind of out there part of it. I'm going to get to a little bit more practical stuff. Okay, you saw this Venn diagram and how they come together. High Desert Human Design is the live field. The spiral is the daily practice and the communing with each other. And the Wisdom Keeper pathway is the pathway for the embodied leadership in this ecosystem. So we know that I want to be a steward of cycles. Well, how do I become embodied into stewarding cycles into the world instead of just, not that this is bad or wrong, right? There is a time to be intellectual about a topic, but there is also a time to embody it. And this is the next stage of embodying, as I believe. Okay, so practically, what the heck is it? What did we find? It's the Hotel Glorietta, and I have 3 rooms. We are going to have indoor offerings every single day in 3 different rooms. One of the rooms is going to be streaming all day. So these sessions will be from 60 minutes to 90 minutes, and it will be streaming live for people all over the globe. Another room will be a room that also has lectures or 90 to 60-minute sessions. That will be in the second room. The third room will be workshops, something that is 3.5 hours. This will be for facilitators that are taking people through an entire process of development, through an entire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These other 2 rooms will be matched with a line and a spiral of the hexagram. There will also be 2 outdoor experiences every day, one of which will be a third line experiment, something that I do that I have a lot of success with, that a lot of my peers also do. I take people to the grocery store and we do some deep breathing outside. And then we go into the grocery store and we pick melons next to the person that's picking melons next to us. And we experiment with what it's like to come close, to move away, to feel the energies of our bodies in an average mundane situation. It doesn't have to be like that, but that's an example. I would like to have an outdoor, go out and be your design in the wild practitioner. And then another person who is taking people on these cultural experiences. Santa Fe has such beautiful natural and cultural places to be, to orient ourselves to the land and to the people and to the geology. It is just magnificent to be here. So I would love to have 5 things going on, 3 inside, 2 outside. I'm also going to have integration spaces. So I'm working on getting a grass space outside, like a right soft space, quiet, or you're just sitting there talking. And then I'm going to have a left space integration, which might be the gym. So I'm working on those things. But that's what it's practically going to look like. These offerings are going to be, like I said, in the lines of the hexagram. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. But this shows that we have 40 to 45 facilitators that could be here if everybody only took one thing. So this is a big deal. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited to have 40 to 45 of our different perspectives coming together to make a truth in a way that someone can consume it that has not understood this whole system yet, but they can walk into it with ease. And I want to show you how I've created that. Because instead of having to understand everything about a first line, second line, third, instead of having to understand the entire spectrum of the hexagram, I've broken it down and we're going to ask the people, where do they want to be today? Do you want to be in a lecture? Do you want to work on these are the 6 spirals I was talking about. The spirals that are going to be here are individual, relationship, family, community, collective, and spirit. So they get to pick, do they want to be in one of these experiences? If so, do they want to lecture? Do they want to embody it? Do they want a field trip? Do they want to see what other people think about it? Do they want to go into a workshop and really be in it? Or they want to listen to the wisdom keepers of it, right? So there are 36 different combinations of things that could happen here. So while I'm going through this right now, I'm going to go through it pretty quickly, but I would like you to find yourself here, to see where you see yourself in the spiral, to see where you are on the edge of yourself. So for instance, what I mean by that is I, on the edge of myself, am really learning about synastry and about this Aries Neptune at 0. This is where I'm a little bit insecure. This is my first line place where I don't know, but I'm really interested and I'm learning. At this place, I would show up And I would probably give a lecture about all of the information that I have collected about this topic. That's me on the edge of it. In my development with human design, I believe I'm at a wisdom keeper level. So what I would do is offer my old teachings, but be on a panel of wisdom keepers with human design. I would be on a first line with my astrological learnings, but a sixth line in my human design learnings. You see how we're everywhere in the spiral. So I want to see where you are at, what feels most alive in you, and what line you are at in your becoming. Okay, so where do you find yourself? These are just some ideas of things that I have created that I've put in here for your just idea generation. So if I were coming in as a user of this system and I was like, gosh, I want to learn about human design. Well, here's one whole spiral that I have created about human design that they could choose from. Do I want to do a 101 and learn about it? Do I want to go into aura experiments and be in my body about it? Do I want to go on an observation walk and see how my body makes and breaks bonds with the world around me in the way that I move? Do I want to be in a panel, right? Do I want to do an interview about the future or history of human design? Do I want to have a one-on-one with somebody? Do I want to get my first reading? I want to create spaces for these things to happen. So in this place in human design, what the outcomes are shared language, personal baseline, and safety norms. So this is, as a wisdom keeper, what you and I would be working on in creating in your teaching is shared language, personal baselines, safety norms. This is the way to move someone's nervous system and neurology from insecure to secure. Some second lines examples of if I were again in the human design spiral and I wanted to work on myself or my relationship or my family or my community or the collective or my spirit, but I wanted to do it in this second line way where I didn't have to really like sit and clog my brain with things, but I could just be in the energy of the topic itself. If that were human design, I would do a energy types and relating conversation. I would do a felt authority, a magnificence profile. I would do a family constellation or play theater, maybe a field trip, a journey into the senses walk. We would go somewhere and be inside of ourselves instead of outside of ourselves. Maybe this could be an interview of what it was like to experience the 7, 14, 21-year cycles of wisdom in human design. Maybe it just could be a dance party, a space outside of time. The point here is about a felt sense of inner yes or no, dropping friction and recognizing where I fit here. Third line, right? We all know these things. We know these words. I've just put them together in a way that helps support our regulation. So in this one, it would line 3, right? Field notes, grocery store experiments, mechanics and relating, rupture and repair practice, right? I've done this before where we have role playings. We rupture, we repair, we rupture, we repair as ourselves, using our language of who we know ourselves to be in this experiment. I do a Jaguar story, human design for the children. I tell the parents about the children's PHS. Anyway, there's so many things that we can choose from in all of these different arenas. And this is what our users are also going to be able to explore through these spirals. Remembering, and one of the basic ethoses of this, is that even plural? Is that there is no linear progress here. There is no starting and there is no ending. Just because you've gotten to the 6th line of the spiral doesn't mean that anything has happened. As you see, the red begins again. We always begin again. So one of the pillars or the culture or the ethos here is going to be there is no arrival and there's no finishing. There is just a coming and a being in whatever space your body has moved to. And so what this overall thing does also is establish trust in their bodies. That's the only thing we're doing. Everybody has different language for it, right? But we are establishing trust in our bodies. And that's what this does, is give a playground for them to decide with their bodies and see that they can trust their bodies. So I wonder where you see yourself. if you see yourself here?
I first of all want to say, Brandy, that I love you.
I love you.
And I love hearing you and your voice and your tone. And that's always true whenever I hear you. And I love this, I love your inspiration and you putting things into structures that can really hold a space. It seems like it can be a very wide one. Yeah, for the practicality of it, I want to say that for me, when I heard, you're doing this HDHD and I love you, and I might be going to Costa Rica in September, so it might somehow work out. And I don't know. I mean, if I can be in the space literally, then it might happen. All the rest, I have to say that I'm into building some organizations myself, first in Israel and then meaning to, so I don't have so much energy for the other things.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see myself in each one of these points if I do, but I would probably have to be, with it. One thing came up to me as a question, or something to kind of contemplate is how do you, like in this space, kind of guide them to make the decision where to go to out of their inner authority and strategy. So how do you make the rules of the game, I like to call it, like when I do an
Yep.
immersion, first of all, you put the rules of the games, right? Like, what's the game? What are we
Yep.
doing? So I
Line
just
one. Always.
came
Yeah.
up. Yeah. That's something that came up for me.
Great.
Like,
Thank you for teeing it up really quick. So let me show you, because if you have that question, so does everybody else. Here is some snapshots from the app itself. So how will they know what's the strategy? What's the game? How do they play it? They come into the app, they download it. And then the very first step is reminding them to take a breath and to let their body lead and to browse at their own pace. And then as an instruction, how do you do this? What do you do? How to use the spiral. And then the next app is choose the spiral you'd like to explore today. Do you want individual, relationship, family, community, collective, spirit, or cosmos? And then, okay, so you've chosen which one you want. Now, do you want to learn, embody, experiment, network, express, allow, or belong? And now you get to the thing where this is where, okay, I've chosen individual and I want to learn about myself. Well, now all of the facilitators and their offerings will be here for them to choose. This is just for high desert human design. And then later, this app will hold all of your offerings. So people can be with you throughout the whole year here in this spiral, in this way, and they can always be interacting with you. And then they get to practice with you live if it's something you want. This spiral app has a podcast for you, everything built for you. And I'm going to show you guys this in a Wisdom Keeper call on the 19th of February. Anybody who's interested in working with me to develop their offerings to fit in this spiral, that's for that call. And that's when I'll explain in detail more about how you fit. But I love that you asked that because this is what it'll look like in the conference itself. Did that help?
yeah, sure. So what I'm understanding is that in the conference, they work with the app to understand what's going on. Okay. That's interesting.
Yep. And the app will be free access for 30 days before the conference and 30 days after the conference. The reason I've done that is that I'd love for you guys to create community in there if you wanted to. There is a community space, and I'll show that to you as well, where you will have your own community outside of any algorithm or pressure, or it'll just be private, and nobody will have all of your information about your communities and things. And you'll have courses, you'll have a podcast, you'll have newsletters, you'll have websites, you'll have all that you need to have your wisdom for you to just continue to be on the edge of who you be and let your compost then resource you. This spiral is the thing that holds your compost. So you can be resourced to just continue moving forward. But yes, it will be that. And I have spoken to some of the elders in our community that are not happy about having an app to navigate the conference with. And so we also will have a paper copy to be able to navigate the app or navigate the conference. When I say, where do you see yourself? I mean, is there something that feels alive in you that's like, yeah, I actually am in this embodiment of my own heresy, right? Lots of us in our community. I have a lot of gates in my design, a lot of aspects in my design that lead to secrecy. And so I'm almost everybody's therapist in this community, but nobody knows it until now, right? So the thing that I see most often here is that lots of people in our community are becoming heretics of their own selves. They have been this thing in their experiment, and now they're like, wait, there's a bigger view. And so they're in this transition of, how do I be a heretic of myself? And so I wonder, I mean, that's what another offering that I would give is being a heretic of myself. How to grow until now something new needs to come, and how to be that as well and deal with those projections and have the capacity to deal with all of that. That's probably something I would teach. So I wonder if you're at the edge of something that feels exciting that you would maybe bring it. Not a commitment, no promises. You can change your mind. But do you see yourself here? Lasita.
Yeah, I don't know where I fit in, but I just want everything to be very simple. And that may not be. And I get overwhelmed with all these details.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there will be other people who may have the same response. But what I want to offer is an art workshop. I don't know whether the weather would allow us to do it outside. I'm thinking of a combination of collage options, of either collage or process painting. And I'm wanting to work with the 8 trigrams. And I don't know where I fit in, and I don't know whether it's individual, relationship, family, community, collective, or spiritual cosmos. Genoa, have you any idea, since you know my concept, where it fits in?
I want to add too, just quickly before Genoa shares, is that all of our teachings have all of it in it, or you wouldn't be ready to teach it. Most often we offer this grand teaching, and here's my salesmanship coming in and my fully defined ego. It could be broken down into little pieces that could be sold for way more. That could be really reciprocally delivered in a way that is more valuable than a whole thing being given, right? I would love to help you find, or not find, it's there. You've got all 6, or you wouldn't be prepared to stand in front of anybody with it. So it's just about breaking it down. What part of it brings people from insecurity to security? What part of it helps people embody the point of what you're trying to say? What part of it helps people experiment? And what do you feel like giving?
Well, I don't want to do an awful lot of teaching. I want it to be almost completely experiential and people chatting with each other while they create. And I'll just spend very little time at the beginning giving them some introductions to the trigrams.
Beautiful. So maybe a 4th line with something, maybe a commune with it. I'm going to have a couple of workshops between now and September to help anybody who's interested. I have the Wisdom Keeper pathway. You can become a Wisdom Keeper with me, but I'm also going to have little workshops that you can come and develop your offerings before September if you don't want to do the Wisdom Keeper.
Probably community, because people would be working on their own their sun position hexagram. So it would be individual and community, 1 and 4.
There you go. And so you're 1 and 4. If I came in as a user and was like, oh, I want to be in community and I want to learn how to be in community, there's your offering. So it is simple. When it gets to them on the app, it's very simple. There's a lot of complication that I've talked about here because it always is in the back end. But when it comes to the app, they're going to be able to find you through, I want to be with other people and I want to learn something. Thank you. Thank you for going. Genoa, did you have something to share about the offering?
Actually, I felt like she represented herself just fine. So I'm not sure why she has to say anything. Yeah. Not really, I guess is the...
Yeah. I'm curious
Her
if
offering is very creative and interesting. And I think a number of people would like to do it.
I agree.
Yeah. So maybe you could go back a couple of slides.
Yeah. Okay. Which one are you looking for?
No, keep going. Oh my. Okay. Keep going. There were some places where I went, oh yeah, I can identify with that. So it's mostly, yeah, I would just go down the checklist. Are you offering a printout or something of these slides? That'd be really.
Yeah, I'll send them to you for sure. I'll send them to you so that you can find your way.
Then I can just go put check marks next to things and see what wanted.
Eventually, it's going to look something like that. Here's my scratches of how I've created it on paper first. So eventually, there's just going to be all these little boxes and X and Y axes that we can figure this out. But
right, example of manifestor on the loose. Okay, so let's go back a few more here.
Okay, back a few more.
Yeah. Okay, keep going.
What are you looking for?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Keep going.
I'm going.
Yeah, all of it's very interesting, I must say. And I love the fact that you have that QR code there. It's very cool.
I love QR codes. That was the very beginning. So now I'm going to go back the other way and see if anything gets you.
It's just little pieces. I mean, I'm not sure how to fit into anything. You know me. It fit anywhere.
Maybe that was the wrong words to use, manifestor.
I'm sure that I would come up with something. Yeah.
I'm still going.
It's awesome. You've been doing an incredible amount of work here. It's really.
Oh, I have been. Thank you. Thank you for seeing me, Genoa.
Funny thing is as a manifestor, I've always learned not to ask for people's reaction to what I've just done because they are all stunned into silence.
Like, oh my gosh, the first time you shared that with me, I felt like, oh, good. It's not that I'm just a weirdo and no one understands.
No, it's just, it's just as a manifestor, you're leaving something there for people to take a look at and to find their way through. And they'll do that in their own way, as you were just saying. That's what this whole thing is. And perhaps, I don't know whether, for me personally, whether you would need to tell me how to make my way through it. I would just look at a whole bunch of lists and go like, that one. And then we just kind of figure out what to do from there, I think. And I suspect that other people would approach it in a similarly intuitive way to just see what resonates with them. Even just the sound of the words would bring people together. And then you could just work with them. I mean, the fact that you're willing to do all of that work is, I think, were you saying 45 people?
Yes.
Interview and do this work with 45 different people?
Well, and here is where the beautiful individuation comes in, because you could absolutely, I will provide you all of the lists. There's no gatekeeping. You can decide where you fit. But if you want me to work with you, we will have an exchange.
Yeah, well, it sounds like fun.
There will be, because this is my work, right? This is the Wisdom Keeper program is what I have done before all of this. I just saw the opportunity to bring it all together in an ecosystem now. And the High Desert Human Design is not gatekept by Wisdom Keeper or Spiral. It was very important to me that all of it remain completely separate and completely at your discretion of where you thought you were. Like if I even in the first line, I'm going to say, I want the topic. Let's say the topic is the moon. Let's move them from insecurity to security. And if you say, I do that by doing this, cool. I'm not even the measure of what, if it's done. It's just holding the container. And if your individuation feels that that is where you fit, that's where you go. If your individuation wants cultivation, I am the manifestor for you.
That's a very interesting example you just came up with. The movement from insecurity to security. Yeah. Almost any topic, right?
Any topic, anything in the whole world.
So, yeah, let me get off the hot seat here, see if other people want to say something.
Thank you both for going first, for sharing. Thank you, Pavaka and Jenna in the seat.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Anybody else want to share? Where do you see yourself in here?
I can say something. First, I love the idea, this ecosystem that you're building, the funnel, the spiral. I can see myself in any of the lines, probably. Depends on what that is, what the topic or what is it that I'm working with. I'm a little. The idea feels so big that what I'm thinking practically and logistically how it's gonna happen. Not logistically, logically. In a 3 days time for people to get into choosing where they're going. I'm just wondering if it's not gonna trap so many people up in their mind trying to navigate and the FOMO and where do I go and having this anxiety around what they're missing if this. So
Yes.
this is what
I love that you brought that to the table. May I answer it?
of course. Yeah.
Okay. I love this because there is a measure over the last 5 years of holding this conference that I have seen this nervous system dysregulation. And so part of the soothing, I don't think it always needs to be soothed, by the way. I think that we get to hold paradox for allowing people to have the experience of having everything to choose from, but having to go inside to be able to follow their bodies into the places and spaces that are for them, having the experience of having FOMO, because that is what we are doing. We are pushing the edges of consciousness right now, us as a species in this time. We are pushing the edges of what it means to stay regulated in the chaos. So there is a measure of chaos that I'd like to have with a nest of support that shows you how to move through it. That app will be available for 30 days before the conference and 30 days after the conference. They're going to know about what is happening and how to move about the conference way before the conference. And they're going to be able to navigate all of the offerings before the conference. And I'm going to structure it in a way that the first question is, do you want to work on one of these areas of your life? Or do you want to do this practice? So it's only going to be those choices. It's not going to be 45 choices up front. It's going to be, what do you come into your body right here today? What is it that is alive in you? Move with that energy. That's what I'm trying to hold space for. Thank you for bringing that up, because that is very important. And last year at the end of the conference, me and about, I don't know how many people, maybe 50 or 60 people were there. And we all did a round table, and my phone was the talking stick. And I said, what do you like? What don't you like? And there were people who are just their first year and people that were 5 years. And this was the thing that was most talked about. That was split right down the middle. Some people loved the chaos because it forced them into their inner authority. Some people hated it because they couldn't stay regulated. I would like to hold space for both.
Yeah. Yeah, I when I was in a high desert human design, that was also the main talk of how people felt about it. But I think that 30 days before is a really good way to overcome it. Yeah, I mean, this is what I have in mind for now. I don't know if I answered the question that you needed or...
I just wanted to engage. There's really nothing that I'm looking for, just to engage and connect with you and see if you see yourself here, even if it's confusing. See if there's a spark of wanting to play with me, even if you don't understand. That's all.
Yeah, no, I'm I think I understand. I understand the idea and where you're going with it, and the really beautiful way of synthesizing all of this into one coherent spiral. But yeah, I'll take my time to digest the information. Thank you for sharing all this.
Thank you for being here. Something I also didn't mention is that I would like for this app, also one of the features I'm building into it is global events and communities. I would love to have one space for all of our events to be there. And I would also love, maybe not this year, because there's a lot going on this year, but to connect with all of the other global retreat facilitators and kind of come together, maybe make a circuit or something where everybody can come around the globe and see us all. Anyway, that's maybe a second year goal, but my desire, I have 7 fourth lines as a 6-line manifester. And 44-6 is my earth. I'm here for this. I'm really excited.
Brandy, I want to share with you. I feel this is something that manifestors, or at least the transpersonal ones, feel now, I guess, because I'm creating something like that as well. And another manifester contacted me about doing something internationally, like having people in each country. Anyway, he's a manifester as well. Anyway, it's so interesting, you know.
It's in the field.
2027 is here already, right? Yeah. I want to share one more thing. I like the end of the spiral, actually. I love the one that's above the 6. I see myself there, actually. So if I don't say.
Of course you would. I love it.
That, yeah, if I would bring something to the table right now, is something that I've been watching since my Chiron returned in May, and the mutations that I've been experiencing is something about the next stage, like beyond conditioning in a sense, which is something that I think Rod did not have the time to talk about, and it wasn't his mission because he was the beginning. And I feel now in my 14th year of radical experimenting and everything that happened the last few months, and I've talked about this a little bit. I call it the light body, something very experiential, and I would say heretical in a sense, because the way that I have been experiencing it, it's sometimes language that is not human design language, or and it's like the peace. I feel like my peace is just healing a lot of aspects in a sense that human design has brought up in me and also brought into my life in a sense. So it made me more of a manifester than I was, more a heretic than I was. And now coming back through the back door. It's like Byron Katie says, we come back through the back door. And there's really just, in my experience now, it's just all sounds very new age, but it's all love in the end, in my experience. And since I'm falling in love with everything and the universe and everything that's in it, is that a lot of things that I have thought through human design, through my experiment, have changed. I still don't even have words for all of it. It's like I'm learning it. My new language, huh?
That heresy I talked about, the heresy of ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say I feel it's like this third stage. So human design, it's like I say, we go from human to design back to human. So first of all, we go in conditioned human beings, and there's all those things that are human about us that are actually just cultural conditioning and all that. And we leave that aside. We go into our design and sometimes become like even robot-like in a sense, or at least with the radicality. I was like, this is my strategy, my authority. This is my sword here.
Step in the spiral. That is a step in the spiral that we get to support people. Mm-hmm.
And then from the design, actually, we go back to the human in a new way. And in a sense, you get to to the other side of the river, you can let go of the boat. And we're still with the boat. It's fine. But it's just to know that you're on the other
It's the raft.
side.
That's true.
You can let go of the boat.
I love this idea of you taking the next rung. We could create something fun about it. But that is the idea, the culture, that there is no beginning. There is just always the seed sprouts its roots, and then its stem, and then its leaves, and then its flower, and then its seed, and then it starts again. So just the whole knowing.
Yeah, I just love that you put it there. That you put it there, this energy beyond the 6. I love it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's cool. That'd be
Thank
fun.
you.
Is anything alive in anyone?
I already shared a little bit at the beginning, but still feeling the same way that this is really neat. And the foundations are where I have a lot of joy and excitement still. But I just love hearing everybody talk. I'm a community as well. And I like it as far as structure, the different structures. I definitely like panel discussions or workshop or wherever there's like interaction and we're talking or sharing. That's definitely of interest. But yeah, it's funny how we all, and obviously we have it all. We could see it all. I have a undefined G center, so I'm like, I love sampling it all as well. It's all very fun. So this is really neat. At some point, I'm shy to ask, but I have questions about the finances of it. What does that entail?
Beautiful. Thank you for asking, because that is next. I would love to, let's see, am I going to do it next? I'm going to go there, but first, I'm going to pull up the slide, but first I'd love to hear from somebody else, if anyone else wants to share. Lucretia, I think you might be the only projector here today. Are you a projector, Lucretia? Or are you an MG? MG. Okay, would you like to share anything? I can't hear you, though. I just read your lips.
Can you hear me now?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just still processing, to be honest. 43:23 here. I need a bit more time.
Yeah, I understand. Okay. Thank you for being here.
I can share.
Hi, Marla.
Hi, everyone. I was driving in the car before, so I couldn't really participate. But I haven't had the opportunity to go to this conference. I did go to the one in Colorado Springs where I met you, Brandy. And that was a great experience. It was my first human design conference and I loved it. And I had no idea that this one existed, except that a lot of people from that one were going to this one the next week. And I was really bummed because I didn't know anything about it. It's funny when you mentioned the chaos of it, because I had read about it and I thought about going last year, but I was like, I don't know, this sounds like it's too much for me. I like for things to be a little bit more like organized and orderly, but I heard great things about it. But I am excited to be on the front end this time and to be able to participate and really to be in community and meet more people as well. It's funny. When you had the options, I was drawn to the dance. I love to dance. I don't teach it, but I love dancing. And I'm in a period of really becoming more embodied. My North Node's in Virgo in the 6th house. And that's just, astrology is my foundation. And that's really my lifetime's work. And so I find myself lately like being very interested in the root center and the fact that Pluto is in gate 41. I'm very interested in where the planets, the collective planets are, which centers they're in. I think that's fascinating. And yeah, I just keep doing more with the body. And so I don't have anything specific, but I'm excited.
That was specific and beautiful. Thank you. I'm glad you're bringing your wisdom here. And I really appreciate you wanting to play with me in building a foundation in the start of this. I love the established wisdoms of our Genoas and Pavakas and the brand new wisdoms of our Marlas and Rebeccas. I think that bringing both of those things together are very important. And so thank you for being here, Marla.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you, Jim, you're usually not this quiet.
Oh, are you kidding? I don't know. You got heavy hitters here. You got people who were here before some of the planets showed up. I'm just trying to not offend anybody. I was looking at the spiral in my own life. It was more of a downward spiral. So I saw it was like a whirlpool, like sinking down to the depths. That's the way I first saw it. And I thought, oh, that's probably wrong. So no, I'm just happy to be here along, and I don't know. I see myself all over the place, and I also see myself that wouldn't work for me either, and maybe I should go to, instead of a high desert, I should maybe go to a jungle somewhere else, and I don't know. But I think it's great. I think the more people that know about it. I did a human design comedy show a couple of weeks ago here in Eastern Tennessee, of all places, and I expected people to show up with pitchforks and torches. And nope, we had a lot of people that were very interested, and I think a lot of people are looking for it. So my thing is usually anything that is easy access. A problem I've had for many years is just opening up a fire hose where people say, what's human design? Yes, that's not helpful to anyone. It's also when people ask me on Zoom calls what I have to say, so you probably want to mute me, but it's an open throat. What do you want? No, it's been good. It's been a great experience. Great. I think it's great that you guys are doing this, and you may continue. How about that?
Thank you. Just tell me if you need a stage or a room.
I wanted to respond to Jim. You are just so naturally funny. And that idea of the downward spiral is also really interesting. I think all of us can go deeper inside.
It's the sinking and abandoning hope, Lucida. That's where I get my inspiration.
It's actually really funny that you say that, because the Merkaba is one of my favorite shapes, and it's the triangle coming in and the triangle going out, the involution. And it's really funny that you say that it's like the downward spiral, because I imagine the spirit being like, shit, we got to go into that meat suit again. Let's get in there. Anyway.
It's the flushing of the celestial toilet, and that's where the compost is, right? Come on, it all builds.
It all comes together.
I'll show myself.
Thanks for being here, Jim. Okay, let me answer that question. Thank you, guys. This is fun. Okay, so you may or may not know, but I've created 6 different councils that are helping to steward high desert human design into reality. The councils are a finance council, which is helping me figure out the money part, a programs council that is going to help me bring all of these 40 people into our field and then put them in the spiral in the days in a way that is regulatory as best as we can for the nervous systems. We're not going to have 2 conflicting events, one where you have to be peaceful, come one after you've just done deep transformational work. We are going to, or maybe we will, I don't know. My point is I have a bunch of people, we're going to figure it out. An IT committee, a volunteer committee or council, and an accessibility and care council. I tell you that so that you know that there is probably 25 or so people that are helping me do high desert human design. This is not just me. And the finance council, we're still working on, we just got the Glorietta. The Glorietta wants to negotiate with us. So I don't have final numbers to be able to do all the math backwards yet. They want to work with us so well that they are taking deposits when I get donations. They didn't take the whole deposit. They're taking it hundreds of dollars at a time. Just whenever I have it, I go in and I give it to them. And they've given me a number that I'm working on of $15,000 just for the space. But they also said they really want the relationship with us so that they'll negotiate. So we're still in the midst of that. So when I'm giving you this pricing and all of this stuff, it's all very preliminary. But what I want you to know is it's going to be transparent. What we hope is to have a full spiral ticket be $500. And that will be full access to everything, the spiral, everything that we do, and the streaming as well. The community ticket will be everything except for those deep dive workshops. The reason being is because I want to compensate everybody, but but I want to compensate at least those 3-hour facilitators because of the depth of work that is coming to the stage there. Not that a 90-minute talk is not just as valuable as a full transformational workshop, but I think that there is a significant exchange of energy. Again, you're talking to somebody who's been doing it for free for around the globe for a long time, and my ego says it's time to change to be sustainable. This compost that we are giving people is the thing. The authenticity is the new currency. And so I want to just pave the way for all of us to know that our authentic expression is valuable. Okay. Streaming options, $150. That'll just be pure streaming. And then the app will figure that out later. This is what I presented at the very beginning. I presented that I wanted to give you 70% of your ticket sales. I sat down with the finance committee and they told me how wrong and unsustainable I am. And so we have been rolling around with this for a while. What I have agreed to share with you after our final meeting before this one was that it will be transparent, it will be after cost, and it will be a revenue share. We don't know exactly what that percentage is yet, but there are smarter people than me that are helping me figure this out. Because this is not a money-making thing. This is a ecosystem building thing, but I understand that we've got to seed the next thing. We've worked out a donation. We're asking for donors, for seed donors for this 2026 year, so that all the money that we collect from tickets from 2026 will go to 2027. We're working this out. I don't have the full answer for you, but what I do know is it'll be transparent, it'll be after the costs are paid, and it'll be a share of the revenue like a co-op. And as far as I know, I'm one of the first conferences that are doing transparent, forward-facing, you will be compensated. So I'm going to ask for your grace in working it out. Yep. So I'm going to leave this slide up, but Rebecca, I wonder if I answered your question in a long, right-brained kind of way.
Yeah, I think so. And then one other question is, what is your expectation of how many people will be there?
I hope 200. The numbers are built on, right now, they're built on 80, because when I averaged out the last 5 years, some years we had 150 people, some years we had 60 people. So the average number that I'm working on is 80, but I think that is very conservative, especially given 60 people have shown up to these calls. So I think that number is very conservative. Okay. Yeah. After I get all that anymore.
And just be able to go free to other things.
No.
So that isn't the compensation that can be offered.
Wait, maybe I misunderstood your question. Can I hear it again?
If you're presenting something, can you get to have a full ticket yourself?
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100% yes. I didn't hear the question. Yes, if you are presenting, you have a ticket.
And for people who are attending by streaming from other places online, what is the price for them?
Between 150 and 200. And they will have the streaming room for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Brandy, do you have a place around there, like for rooms, for like a hotel that you're talking to? Or that place itself, do they have rooms there? Or how does it go?
Yes. It's at the Hotel Glorietta. And at the Hotel Glorietta, there's going to be more about this coming out. I have a videographer coming to do a video of the place. But the rooms she's given me $160 rate per night for these rooms. There's tons of rooms. There's little townhouses off to the side if you didn't want to be in a traditional hotel room with outside spaces and grass. There is a lounge. There is a nightclub. That we're renting probably 1 or 2 nights. We're going to rent the nightclub and dance and DJ and stuff like that. There is a sweet little lounge with a outside space you can sit and chat. There's a huge tables and chairs area that we can use anytime we want. There is hiking right out the back. There's a grocery store you could walk to in 15 minutes. There's food on site. There's a sauna, a spa, a pool, and a workout and a gym and a little church on site. Trying to work it all out, guys. I think we found it. All right. What is next? Here are some more QR codes. Here is where you will submit the application to be a facilitator. Now, this application is not a yes or no. This is just for us to be in the programs committee to know where to put you or to have more conversation about what that might be. There is a workshop that I am going to hold, just a day lab, and it'll be in March. I'll probably charge $60 for it, but it'll be all day and it'll be a whole lab and we'll develop your offering. And that's the link to not pay for it because I don't have all that set up, but just to join the list if you're interested in one of the labs that I'm going to offer between now and September. That's this one. This is my WisdomKeeper program introduction. This is the QR code to the call, just to the call, on the 19th of February. And in this call I will explain in detail a little bit more about this stuff and how what I have built can be a home for your compost to resource you. Ta-da! I will curtsy. Oh, that's funny. Rebecca, so different than last time, huh? I could never do it the same, even if I tried.
Great. Glad I could come. Thank you.
Does anybody have any more questions or thoughts? Stimulations?
What was WisdomKeeper in 2 words again?
Oh, thank you. In 2 words.
Yeah, possible. Then 4. I'll make it 4.
A home for your compost. A home for your compost. That's 5. I know that sounds disgusting. I got to make it sound more appealing. It is
Sounds like something for gardening.
It is an entire ecosystem so that your wisdom can be lived without you having to build a website, market it, do the podcast, build the web back end, build the app. All of that I've built already, and you just put your wisdom in it.
I'm wondering if you built it yourself, Brandy.
I did. I have been. My teacher, Genoa, taught me that I have to fucking build it first. I can't just inform people that I want it to be built and twinkle my nose and it gets built. I've been bamboozled. I'm teasing. I'm very much teasing because that was a mindset for a little while, like this informing. I have tried to build this since 2016, and I have informed and informed. I've brought teams of people together to try to do this, but I haven't built it. I thought they were going to be the builders. I got to build it. Genoa really helped me with that a couple years ago, so I've been building it.
That I know.
Hello.
I mean, I informed the universe and he's bringing me people, but these people need to get paid lots of money, so
yeah. Then they need to see the vision.
It's they do the things I don't want to do.
Yeah. I think now that I have built it, I'm going to be able to find people that can see what it is and so respond to be able to sustain it. Yeah. Nisarg, dear love, hello.
I mean, I'm so honestly, Brandy, I'm so sorry. I was reading 7:30. And then I didn't find the Zoom link. And I've been kind of like for the last half an hour racing around trying to manage to get in anyway, at least at the end.
Well, let's all take a deep breath with Nisarg because she's been for 40 minutes. Thank you. Thank you. Hi. I will send you a written recap and the video so that you can.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to see your beautiful face, and I'm sure everyone else.
But I'm happy that I could still come in at the end at least. And thank you for letting me come in still. And I'm seeing a face that I haven't seen so long. And I'm so happy, Chenua. Oh my God. Chenua. Wow.
I just told the story that you told me about your mother and your father when we were crossing the street together in Ibiza town many, many years ago. I couldn't tell it without crying.
I don't remember the story.
I'm sure you do.
But I'm so happy. I'm so happy, Chenua, to see you again also. Oh, wow.
I'm just asking you in a private message to email me if you would.
Yes, please.
I will put my email there.
Lasita. My God, Lasita, hi. And Jim, we met one time. And the others, thank you.
Thank you for being here, sweet Nisarg.
Thank you for having me. I feel honored, honestly. I really, really feel honored. Yeah.
I'm honored. This is quite a space today.
So, Nisarg, is there any chance you might be coming here to Santa Fe?
Well, that's, I mean, make me an offer. I can't refuse. That's what I can say. I shared already with Brandy that these long distance flights, I can't really do them anymore in economy. I mean, and business is just too much now. And otherwise I would love it. But I would love it, actually. Last year already, Jonah had invited me, and then anyway, it didn't happen and didn't really come up with a solution for me. I would love it, absolutely love it. So let's see. I'm a little bit afraid to go to America because I tell you, in Europe, everybody is right now afraid of going to America. I have kind of nightmares that I'm going to be stuck at the border and they put me in some kind of a jail because something is not exactly right how I did it. I mean, it's so intense what's going on here that through what's happening in America that really, and in between there was even a warning to fly from the different European countries to hang in there and wait a little bit. So, but September is a way away, a long way away.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
And
there's always Zoo.
There is. And we'll figure it out. We will flow and we will move and we will face our faces toward the sun. We will see what love sees. And
I just want to say that the energy in the room is exquisite. It's exquisite. Where I stepped into, really, it's healing. Yeah, it's healing.
Yeah, I felt the closeness that we started building in this little group today. And you'll be very welcome on Zoom. I would love seeing you, hearing you, and seeing you through Zoom. So I think the cost of travel, the inconvenience of travel, I think we need to include the rest of the world the way they can make it.
I agree. I agree. And if
Thank you, Lasita, for your appreciation. Wow.
Maybe we can have a European one, and then
That'll never happen.
us can. What do you mean? We make so many events in Europe. You know
That's what I
that.
mean. That's what I mean.
And I have a beautiful place for it where I am right now.
Oh, still there?
I'm still there. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's
Wow.
I'm still there. It's this, I don't know if somebody saw it on my timeline. I posted it, that there is this beautiful, it's like a castle manor, and it needs to be sold, and because of an insolvency, and it belongs to my ex-husband. And somehow we got together again, and it's really beautiful. It's like we were apart for 35 or 40 years, something like that. And after his wife died, who was a friend of mine also, and we never really separated in that sense. How can the heart separate from somebody it loved? I don't believe in separations. I believe in expansions. I call separations healthy separations. I call them expansions. And that's how I experienced our separation. And so I'm actually here to support him. He's really going through it. Also physically, his health is suffering from, an insolvency, and watching how your life's work is being slowly, piece by piece, taken away from you. And it's just an incredibly beautiful, absolutely out of this world place. So I had the idea it could actually be somehow 2027 coming up to have a place where one can retreat to and survive in Europe, in the, in a very healthy environment, and the place itself is all organic, and the land where the stuff is grown, and it's very special. So I am kind of supporting him here physically, that he can sleep better. His heart is really suffering, but also the place, like with my network and connecting, and everybody here is a bit afraid that in the end it's going to end up in the hands of a big chain, like a hotel chain. And the spirit that is there, because it is an incredible spirit, that will be then gone. So anyway, that's my little thing. Since you asked, I'm still here.
Let's do a conference and raise some money. I don't know. Just a thought.
Amberchi and Natalie, we did
I'm so happy that the flow brought these people, specifically you, together.
Yeah, it's good.
Thank you. I could just sit here in this fourth line space all day. I don't have anything more.
Thanks for having us over, Brandy.
Thanks. Next time I'll have tea and snacks, maybe.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you.
thank you, guys.
Yes. Sorry.
So to be with you right now and to feel the connection and the love, thank you. It's healing.